Everybody see my screen? See the presentation? All right.
Actually, TC, I don't know if we're seeing your presentation. We're seeing breakout room. Is that your presentation?
Yep, that's what it should be.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
All right, and TC, I just started hitting record.
All right, sounds good. We'll wait for the signal. So I just so every refresher for how this should work for everybody. I'll just go through and introduce every program, and I have my handy dandy phone stopwatch, so we'll just give everybody 5 minutes on the clock. If you don't talk the whole time, perfectly fine. We can just go on to the next program. But if you're running out of time on the 5 minutes, I'll just change the slide to, I think it's this logo, and that'll just kind of be your Oscar music walkout.
Could you sing the Oscar music or something instead?
I can try. I did a lot of talking today. I don't know where my
countdown. What if we did like a Jeopardy countdown? That'd be
perfect. Yeah, I'll see if I can pull that up as well.
Yeah. He sent the message that we're good to go.
I better unmute myself. Great. So first up is my home, Peyton Manning Children's Hospital. So I will pass it off to Dr. Patel and start our timer. These are our resident moderators, and we'll get into it. Timer is on.
Awesome. Thanks, TC. So I am Rita Patel. I am the program director at Peyton Manning Children's Hospital in Indianapolis. We're a smaller program. We've got 6 residents per class, but we're a huge health system. Our residents get to train at our freestanding children's hospital, which you can kind of see in the background in that picture. In addition, we have the largest level 4 NICU in the state of Indiana. It's a 97-bed NICU. We also have really busy PICU and ED and newborn and clinic services. So lots of great patient experiences that we get to share with our residents. Let's see, they get to see a big diversity. I know they were talking about the diversity of patients that we have in the Midwest, and we certainly see that at Peyton Manning. We have patients from all over the world that come to see us. And then we also have a big diversity in terms of disease pathology and level of acuity. So the patients really get a very broad experience. We switched to a 13-block schedule, which is on our program highlights, a couple of years ago, and that's really allowed us to have more individualized curriculums. Our residents can tailor their training to what their career goals are. And as you see, about 30% of our residents end up going into fellowship, about 25% go into hospitalist medicine, and then the remaining go into primary care. And then finally, I think our residents and faculty are just a really nice group. And that I know is also a little bit of a Midwest thing probably, but I like to think we're extra special. And everyone seems to really like to spend time with each other. Our residents actually just came back from their retreat today. And so I am gonna actually pass it on to my 2 fabulous interns, TC Fisher-Heath and Catherine Grev, to talk a little bit more about why they chose PMCH and what their experience has been so far.
All right, I'll go first, and then I'll toss it over to you, Catherine. Like Dr. Patel said, my name is TC Fisher-Heath. I'm an intern. I went to Marian University College of Osteopathic Medicine in Indianapolis. I chose Peyton Manning because I got a really good feel from the residents when I went there. I think that's one thing that you guys will need to keep in mind as you're going through the application process is when you go to a place, how do you feel like you fit in with the group, and how do you feel the program will help you succeed? And for me, what drew me was, the small program size, the fact that I really enjoyed working with the people who were there. And then I really wanted a one-on-one relationship with my attendings, which I can absolutely say has happened so far. Just being there 4 months, I feel like I know pretty much most of the attendings that I will be working with throughout my 3-year career, which I think is a huge advantage. We just came from our resident retreat today. It was great. We did a apple orchard and then murder mystery today. So that was pretty exciting. I solved the murder, so I was pretty pumped about that. And I'm also from Indianapolis, so just quick plug for the city of Indianapolis. Lots to do, professional sports teams, states, parks, all that great stuff. And then I guess one other thing I should say, we can still have a life during residency. I have a wife, a 10-month-old baby, and a 2-year-old dog. So a lot going on, but you'll be able to succeed through residency even with all that stuff. So I'll pass it on to Catherine.
Hi, I'm Catherine Grev. I am actually not from the Midwest, so I grew up in Tennessee, but then moved up here for medical school. I also went to Marian University in Indianapolis, and did rotations at Peyton Manning Children's Hospital as a medical student. What really stood out to me about the program was I really liked that it was small, really a close-knit group. And it was apparent to me, even as a medical student rotating, that everyone really seemed to like each other and really liked hanging out outside. Unfortunately, with COVID, we haven't done that as much. But like TC said, we just got back from our retreat today, and TC was awesome at the murder mystery party. So we like to have a good time together, and I feel very well supported at the program. As TC mentioned, with it being a smaller program, we get to know all of our attendings really well, and all of the residents really well too, really from the get-go. It was really nice within the first few weeks to already know everyone and to know about significant others and children. So I've loved this program. It's been a really great opportunity for me to be here.
Da, 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 da. All right. Next up is University of Illinois College of Medicine, Peoria.
Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me. Just wanted to say hello. And my name is Bhavna Khandikatu. I'm the program director here. I have with me today Michelle Beekman, our associate program director, and 2 of our fabulous residents, Khaled Abdul Rahman and Katie Justice. Our program is committed to training the next generation of leaders in pediatrics. We're the 3rd largest children's hospital in Illinois and the largest children's hospital outside of the Chicago area. And being a large academic center, serving such a large community, we get the best of both worlds. So we get a ton of bread and butter pediatrics, a lot of rare pathology, and all the zebras in between. Our hospital serves over 60 counties, which is half of Illinois that kind of feed into our hospital. We've been ranked in the top 50 in the US News and World Report in neonatology, pediatric urology, and pediatric nephrology. Our ambulatory experience is unique in that we went to a modified X+Y type of model. So on your non-inpatient months, you get a full day of continuity clinic. So you get a true continuity experience. And also in your 3rd year, you can choose a subspecialty clinic if you wish to. We house the Midwest affiliate of the St. Jude's Center. We also have one of the top pediatric cardiology and cardiac surgery programs in the nation, one of the largest simulation centers in the country, as well as our NICU is one of the first NICUs in existence in the country as well. Our fellowship match rate is 100%. Our board pass rate for the past 3 years is 100%. And our Gen Peds to fellowship ratio is about 50-50, with fellowship including a hospital medicine fellowship as well. One really cool thing is we also have flexible vacation days, so you don't have to take them in a block, plus extra gift days for the residents to use from GME. So if you're looking for a medium-sized residency program where you'll get outstanding training to be a pediatrician, while also being part of a loving family-like atmosphere, look no further. Our social media links are on the infographic sheet, and please visit our website for our cute resident testimonials as well. I look forward to meeting you, and now I pass the baton to our residents.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Caleb Dorman. I'm one of the third-year pediatric residents at Children's Hospital of Illinois. One of the things that really brought me to this program was just like the small town feel. You know, it's a medium-sized program. We get kind of like the best of both worlds in terms of, you know, seeing a diverse amount of pathology. We have an encatchment area that includes almost 2 million children, which is fantastic for being able to see as much as you can for someone like me who's interested in general pediatrics, and feeling comfortable, you know, when I end up practicing out in the world by myself without having the handful of attendings that I can text and let them know, hey, you know, this is going on. So I think that was one of the other things that really brought me there, was just, you know, seeing how close-knit everyone was. You know, now as a third year, I have no qualms about texting any of the subspecialists that we have. And we do have a ginormous amount of them. So I think being able to see that, being able to rotate there, really get all of that information under my belt, definitely was one of the things that stood out to me on my interview day and still stands out to me now, and lets me know that I definitely made the right choice. So yeah, I'll hand it off to Katie.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you in digital form. My name is Katie Justice. I am a second-year resident at the Children's Hospital of Illinois. I actually went to med school in Washington State at Pacific Northwest University, College of Osteopathic Medicine. So I'm from Washington, and I didn't really know much about the Peoria area, but I landed a sub-I, and I got a lot more experience here just with the community, and more specifically in touch with the hospital community and the resident community. It felt like everybody, including all the different residency programs that we have at our hospital, were friendly and supportive of each other, and it just felt like a true family. So that's kind of what drew me to this program in particular, coming from an outsider's perspective. I even, as a med student, was included in a zoo run that the residents were doing. So the support they give students here as well, just being affiliated with the University of Illinois, I think they do a fantastic job at supporting the academic learning and including students, which sometimes is unique. So I just felt truly supported. And I feel that way now as a resident, by leadership, by our residents, and even my community. My neighbors are the nicest neighbors I've ever had, because they watch our dogs and everything. So very happy here.
All right. Thank you very much. Up next is Advocate Children's Hospital, Park Ridge.
Hi, everyone. I'm Joanna. I am the program director at Advocate Children's Hospital in Park Ridge. I'm going to tell you some shocking things that you haven't heard before. Like, we love living in the Midwest, and we have a great family feel for a medium-sized program, but the truth is we're all telling you the truth. So I feel like I'm in very good company with the other programs that are here with us tonight. I'm just going to tell you a few unique things about our program. One of the things that's really exciting is that we love to innovate. We love trying new things. One of the ways that we innovated is that we are the lead site for the X+Y scheduling pilot for the country. So I have the privilege of working now with 16 other residency programs that have joined me and all of us on this X+Y journey. So we do a 3+1 scheduling model, which has really been great. This is our 4th year. So it allows you to really do immerse yourself in the rotation with which you are scheduled. So 3 weeks of a rotation with 1 ambulatory week. And it really helps with continuity of care in your outpatient practice as well. We have great resident faculty relationships. Everyone knows each other really well and is able to support everyone through mentoring and advising relationships. A really diverse patient population. We're located right outside the city of Chicago, so they're able to serve an urban and suburban population. In terms of innovation too, this year we expanded our small group cohorted learning model. So we have 2 academic half days during your clinic week. So just learning with a group of 9 to 10 people, the same 9 to 10 people, along with an attending. Plus we have a hybrid So we also have noon conference teaching. Hybrid's like the theme of all school and learning this year, right? So we're doing the same thing in our program. Our continuity clinic is on site, and we're Advocate Aurora Health is one of the largest nonprofit systems in the country. We really believe in wellness and resilience. So making your time when you're at work, one important thing we think about wellness is not just the fact that we give you a lot of time to be off of work and that you love to be with your co-residents and their family members, but also that we make work a place of wellness. So really enjoying our time that we spend together. We have a deep commitment to community health and advocacy. I run our mobile health program for the Children's Hospital, so our residents are active participants in that program as well. And we take residents from all over. So we right now have 38 residents from 31 different med schools. Our residents range in age right now from 24 to 48. So we also have residents with a diversity of experiences. So it makes for a really great place to work and to train. We have 3 of our residents with us tonight. 2 of them are going to just tell you a few things about the kind of resident that fits in well at our program and why they chose to join us.
Hi, I'm Sandra. I'm a second year. I love our program because of all the other residents in the program. So I feel like I'm really, really good friends with all of them. We spend time together outside of residency. We take our dogs to the dog park together. We go to dinner. We talk about the program. We talk about everybody else. And we just really all connected when we came here. And so I love that family feel that we get here. And then I'll pass it off to Jess to talk about why she chose the program.
Hi, I'm Jess. I'm a PGY1. I had the privilege of doing several different rotations with this program, starting with my 3rd year clerkship, my sub-I, and I couldn't stay away, so I did a bunch of 4th year electives there too. I knew from the very first day that this was exactly where I wanted to train. We're not lying when we tell you that the family feel is completely real. This is a family who respects each other, supports each other, and genuinely enjoys being together. I was also particularly struck by just the commitment to excellence that really permeates the atmosphere at this program. Not in a way where we're competing with each other to try to be better, but in a way where we are helping one another and continually looking for new ways to improve our program so that we can be the best we possibly can be as a team as we do this incredible work of caring for children together. I feel truly blessed to be part of this program where I'm cared about and valued by my co-residents and faculty, and where I know I'm receiving a breadth and depth of training that is preparing me to do anything.
We finished early. We can move on to someone else.
All right. You don't even need the music this time. Up next is Western Michigan University, Homer Stryker, MD, School of Medicine.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Kelly Brown, and I'm the program director here at Western Michigan University School of Medicine, or as we call it, WMed. Our goal is also to prepare future leaders in pediatric medicine. And as alluded to a little bit earlier in the Midwest presentation, we have a longstanding ties to the Kalamazoo and Southwest Michigan community, but also have the benefits of having the academic resources of a relatively newer medical school here in Kalamazoo. And so one thing that we also like to highlight, as many of you have tonight, is that our individualized curriculum really helps to develop our residents into the highly skilled pediatricians that they want to be and pursue their career interests. So of course, we all meet the ACGME guidelines for getting a good broad-based education in pediatrics, but we really do like to provide a great deal of flexibility for each resident to really tailor their education to their career goals and to their passions within pediatrics and medicine in general. So those passions might be in academics, research, community engagement, advocacy, or all of the above. And also I would echo the sentiment that one of our greatest strengths is our residents who bring a diverse range of experiences to the program. They come from all over the United States and actually all over the world. And I think that diversity in our residents also serves our population here in Kalamazoo and Southwest Michigan very well. You may or may not know, but like many cities in the Midwest, Kalamazoo and our region is a refugee resettlement area. So we do have patients and families from all over the world, in addition to having several universities here which bring people to our area as well. I wanted to point out just a couple of the unique features of our program, and they're highlighted on our slide. One is the LEND certification, which stands for Leadership and Education in Neurodevelopmental Disabilities. So this is a special certification that is automatically built into your developmental behavioral PEDS rotation. And it gives you an additional certification coming out of residency training that serves you well, regardless of if you go into general pediatrics or fellowship training. And generally, this is something that's reserved for fellowship programs. We also have a global health certificate program, and we have some longstanding ties with communities in Madagascar and Peru, rotations in which residents have gone to those areas for years. So definitely some opportunities there. The other is a newer program called MyDocs, which stands for Michigan Docs. And this is a new feature that started this past academic year. So 2 of our 10 residency positions per year are designated as this MyDocs, meaning that matching with the program into one of these spots, these residents are committing to working in an underserved area in Michigan in primary care for 2 years following graduation. And this is coupled with $75,000 in student loan repayment. We have our current interns, Dr. Chi and Dr. Flutterman, who are participating in this program and are very excited about it. I think we have 1 more minute. I'll throw it over if Dr. Vanderkoy, who's our Associate Program Director, wants to just say a quick hello.
Hi guys, I'm Erica Vanderkoy. I'm the Associate Program Director with Dr. Brown. I just wanted to comment on the range of pathology that we see here in Kalamazoo. I trained at a tertiary care center, and I felt like patients came to us very differentiated. I get to watch the residents work up undifferentiated patients here, and every week I am absolutely amazed by the pathology that we see here in Kalamazoo, and how we get to put our diagnostic skills to the test every week. So I just wanted to comment on that. I will echo what everyone is going to say tonight, in that we love our program and we think it's the best, and the Midwest is absolutely the greatest. So thanks all you guys for spending your evenings learning more about us.
All right. Up next is Marshfield Children's Hospital.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for sticking around for our program. We have a small program in the Midwest in a small town, but we have really excellent state-of-the-art medicine. And so it's a kind of in a unique situation. So for those of you who might want to live in a small community, but still want to see a wide variety of pathology and get excellent training and super strong foundation for the future of your career, it's a really nice, somewhat unique mix. We have 6 residents per year. About half of them tend to go into primary care, and about the other half have tended to match in fellowships. The ones that go to fellowship, it's been really rewarding for me to hear back from them. When they start, they feel really strong and well prepared. We don't have fellows at our program, and so our residents do it all, and they work one-on-one with the faculty. And for our residents, that seems to be a strength. They really appreciate that one-on-one attention that they get, and the ability to make those decisions and to do those procedures without other learners sort of in front of them also needing similar experiences. We have a full range of subspecialists and ICU care. We have a strong resident well-being committee and are very committed to resident well-being. And like all of the other programs tonight, we're all very tight-knit group. We tend to really care about our residents and feel like they become part of our Marshfield family, and often keep in touch, long after graduation, just, hearing how they're doing and their families and their babies. And it's just been a really wonderful journey for me to be a program director here and get to know so many incredible people and help train them. I went to Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, and I grew up in a big city. And I went to residency in Salt Lake City, which I loved. And so being in a small town is a little bit unusual for me based on my background, but it's really grown on me, and I've been here 20 years. I've been the program director here for 10 years, and I have a really great appreciation for our faculty and how committed they are to the residents, their well-being, and their competence and their confidence as they grow and mature into strong pediatricians. It's a little difficult to know exactly what more to say about our program compared to all the other programs, but I just want to tell all the students out there tonight, there are so many excellent programs out there for you, and really try to look for the one that's really the best fit. And I think one of the unique features of some of the programs you're hearing about tonight is just our small size and our family atmosphere, where we really support your success. Dr. Cepeda is online with me, and I'd like her to say a few words about our board pass rates and our board prep program.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys can hear me and see me too. So my name is Sushma Tapeta, and I'm one of the key faculty members at Marshfield Children's, Marshfield Clinic Health System Pediatric Residency Program. So I want to say a few words about my own experience. I was a former resident here. When I joined, I liked the one thing that attracted me was the family-friendly atmosphere, because everyone was so friendly. I was amazed by how the lectures were, how friendly each of the physicians were, intensivists were, and everything. So that's how I ended up choosing Marshfield Clinic program. And after I joined, and initially I was like, oh, I do my 3 years of residency and get exposure and go out from here. But then Marshfield grows on you, and it was one of the best decisions I have made. And I joined here as a pediatric hospitalist, and I will say that we see wide variety of cases. We draw patients from all over. We are in the middle. If you see, Marshfield is right in the middle of the center of Wisconsin, and we get patients from all over. So there is no concern about any sort of patient exposure. You will see wide variety of cases. And also the thing is, it's a small town, and it is a very family. I know that's the common theme that you are hearing from Midwest programs, but it's a very family-friendly town and also a family-friendly program. So good luck to everyone, but feel free to reach out if there are any questions or anything related to our program. I know Dr. Wright mentioned all the things that we do, so feel free to reach out. We have almost all the subspecialists here, and we rarely transfer out to quaternary center. Most of the things that we take care of all the children here. So thank you.
I just wanted to mention, I know our time is up, but that we have had an excellent board pass rate, and Dr. Cepeda has been really instrumental in doing some academic coaching and test taking skill coaching, and we had 100% pass rate for 5 years in a row, which was excellent. So we don't always have that every single year, but we have a really strong track record. So good luck to everybody, and we welcome all your questions.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so next up is our question and answer portion. I think Catherine, my co-resident, has been kind of triaging the list. So I think there's been one maybe program specific question. So we'll lead off with that just so we can get that answered, and then just kind of go through the questions as they've come through the queue.
All right, so let me look at the list that we have, and I'll call out the moderator who posed the question in the chat. So Colette, I believe you have the first question.
Yeah. So this one was from Twitter, from Stephanie Rosa. And she was asking, does your program offer equal opportunities when it comes to the application process? for US IMGs slash international IMGs.
Oh, so sorry, this is for Marshfield?
I think this is a general question. Yeah, it's a general question.
Well, I guess since I jumped in there, I'll answer. Marshfield Clinic does take a variety of learners from all kinds of backgrounds. So we take residents from Caribbean schools, international schools, US schools. What we're really looking for is the right person and the right fit, because we're trying to build a team of people that work really well together and try not to focus so hard on exactly what score they made or what school they went to, but really focus on the person and what they have to bring to the team.
This is Dr. Brown at Western Michigan. I would echo the sentiment that we take a holistic approach to looking at applications in terms of general qualities. Again, as Dr. Wright mentioned, the general fit with the program, creating a good team environment. And so again, I like to use the term holistic approach to looking at an application. And yes, we have same thing, folks who are from across the US, MDs, DOs, and folks who have gone to school internationally and had additional experiences.
Would any other program like to answer?
I was going to echo that too. I'm Michelle Beekman from University of Illinois College of Medicine, Peoria, and I think that is really the theme, this sort of a holistic approach and reviewing every application that comes through and focusing on the person and their accomplishments, including if they're MD, DO, Caribbean grads, and so I think, that's part of the Midwest probably vibe, is that we really want to know the person and, get a great fit for our program. So.
Okay, so we can move on to the next set of questions. Jess, I believe you have the next one.
Yes, this is a question specifically for Western Michigan that came through from Madeline Strickling. The question is, would you mind telling us more about your NICU experience at Western Michigan?
Hello, yes, so our NICU experience at Western Michigan University, we have residents rotate through the NICU for one block each year, so PGY 1, 2, and 3. We also follow the 13 block system that many programs do. You work at Bronson Children's Hospital, which is the hospital where we have our inpatient, NICU, PICU, newborn nursery, and some of the pediatric subspecialties that make sense to be at the Children's Hospital. And so again, you do one block each of your PGY years. I think your NICU experience, regardless of the program you end up, is oftentimes what you make it, and our attendings and faculty and nurse practitioners really love to teach. And if you're somebody who is interested in neonatology and procedures, they can pick up on that enthusiasm. And over the last several years, pretty much every year we have at least one of our residents going into neonatology. Right now, 2 of our third-year residents are applying for a NICU fellowships and are very excited. And we always hope to maybe recruit them to come back here to Kalamazoo once they finish their fellowship training.
All right, thank you, Dr. Brown. So for our next question, Katie, would you like to introduce that one?
Yeah, no problem. So Natalie Payne was asking, I would love to hear how your pediatric residency program helps residents who are undecided about their career path within pediatrics. What does mentorship and specialty exploration look like at your program? So actually, I'm kind of going through this right now because I was undecided as of a few months ago which area of pediatrics I wanted to go in. I was thinking either outpatient or hospitalist or PICU, but most recently I've had a really great hospitalist rotation and a mentor who I was working with, one of my attendings, that just inspired me and made hospitalist medicine feel like fun. So originally I actually had an outpatient mentor in the beginning of the year. So they actually assign us faculty mentors in the beginning of the year, but they can kind of be your mentor, just a general one. And then if you decide a different specialty, so the attending I was working with, he'll actually be my second mentor. So it's very fluid in terms of your interests, and they really help you with opportunities to learn more about that particular specialty. Our chiefs are fantastic about aligning electives that are more interesting for us, just to help us decide. And then our program offers a variety of specialties to rotate with as far as electives go. One in particular is unique. We have a St. Jude's clinic in the hospital, so our HEMONC rotations have been fantastic if people are interested in that. So yeah.
Yeah, at Peyton Manning, we also utilize our advisors a lot. And I know TC and Catherine are just kind of starting down that path. But the first year, all of our interns actually have advisors who are in the program leadership, because that first year is sort of just a time where you're just figuring out, how to be a resident. And so getting that extra support from program leadership in that first year, I think, is really helpful. But then starting in your second year, as you're getting more of a sense for what your career goals are, then you get an advisor in your field of interest who helps you kind of progress further down that path. Having said that, people do change their minds, and so there's certainly lots of mentorship all over the place. And because people at PMCH really have close relationships, and all the faculty, even if they're not your advisor, everyone knows what all the residents want to do. So if there's someone who's interested in PICU, the faculty will be like, oh, this is a great case for you to write up as a case report, or maybe you should do this as a research project. And so I think even if it's not your advisor, there's so many people that are looking out for you to make sure that you get to where you want to be.
Yeah,
Hey, this is Uzo Corey. I'm also the at Marshfield Clinic, the assistant program director. I'd like to echo all those sentiments. I think one of the really unique things that we have that addresses that is the mentorship. So the top 3 reasons I'd say to ever come to Marshfield would be mentorship, resident well-being, and academic training. But regards to residents who might not know what they want to do, I think one of my favorite stories about our program is an intern who's 6 months into their rotation who had chosen me as a cardiologist, thinking they wanted to go into cardiology. Halfway through the intern year, they had a rotation, loved GI, absolutely loved GI. And we had this interesting, almost a breakup conversation as he explained that, how do I find a GI mentor? We were supportive. Our program identified that. I expressed to my colleagues that we had an intern who was really interested in GI. So point being, our mentorship program helps us identify and actually tailor what we can offer to your needs and make sure we get you where you want to go. Really, it's really get to know you, what do you want to do, and how do we maximize your potential. Thank you.
Thanks, Uzo, for joining us. I didn't realize you were on. He's on call tonight, so kudos to you for joining.
Thank you.
All right, it looks like we have a few questions that are related to the actual application process, specifically looking at STEP scores or COMLEX scores. So Sandra, I'll transition to your question, and then right after that, it looks like Jess, you have a couple of questions related to that as well.
Yes, so Caitlin asked, do your programs accept COMLEX scores without having USMLE scores?
I can talk about that, Sandra, if you want. So everywhere is going to be different. For us at Advocate Children's Hospital in Park Ridge, COMLEX is a, I don't want to say wonderful about any test. So we accept COMLEX and USMLE scores. Both are reflections of training that you've received. Both are well validated. I don't think one is better than the other. We don't need one or the other. I also just want to take this opportunity to say that this year, everyone knows that testing was totally wacky and that not everybody is going to have their step 2. I saw there was a question about step 2 CS. It doesn't matter to me personally to see your step 2 CS because I know that like some of you took it and nobody else can. So I think everybody knows that things are very different. And my personal opinion, I saw something on Twitter today where someone had posted like the way that you can convert using the score calculator to convert a COMLEX score to USMLE score. I'll tell you that I don't do that. I don't think that your test score is a reflection of who you are as a doctor. I think that most of us, what we're looking for, like what I say at our hospitals, we're looking for someone who's a good human first and a good doctor second. And a test does not make a doctor. So I think that knowing that all of us would hate to be defined by only one number or only one attribute, and knowing all the other programs in this room, I could safely say that that's what we all want, is to look at the whole person. So I don't think anyone should let that define you. I might have answered like 3 different questions in that one answer because I think they all were really similar. So the same with, I can just say the person, you guys can probably agree with me with nods or whatever, but someone that said if it looks like your score might be lower than what someone's cutoff is, I think if you think you'd be happy there, there's no reason to not apply to a program. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Dr. Lewis. And if any other program directors want to respond in the chat too, with just if you have a very simple response, that's fine too. And then Colette, I believe you have the next question related to resident feedback.
Forgot to unmute. So this one is from Joey from Twitter. It says, in what ways does your program solicit and respond to resident feedback? And I think starting off from our program at UEComp and Children's Hospital of Illinois, one of the things that I saw during my interview was the change over from the 16-hour work restrictions for interns to 24 hours. And our program did that before I got there for about 6 months. And the residents, told the program leadership that this was something that was not doing too well for their wellness. And in my opinion, I would have expected a program to be like, okay, well, it didn't seem to work out we'll see how it goes for the year. And then next year we'll figure out how to change the schedule. But our program actually ended up changing, redoing the entire schedule with everyone's vacations, everyone's call days, all of that in the middle of the year. And then they switched it. People didn't miss out on their vacations. They went into a weekly night float. I thought that was something that was amazing to see a program that was so dedicated to making sure that their resident wellness was such a priority that they went above and beyond to do something like that for the residents. I thought that was great. And if any other programs want to respond.
So over at Advocate Children's Park Ridge, a lot of our resident feedback is very well received and very quickly put into practice or trials or whatever we can manage at the time. So like Claude said, we had a NICU rotation on a 3+1 schedule where we had Q4 call. And that wasn't great for our wellness either. And the class above us opted to see if we could change that. And the administration and a lot of our program directors were really receptive to that. And within an academic year, or even less than that, it was changed. And it's much more less hours that you're in the hospital. You have more free time. So it's a lot better for our mental health staying in a NICU with no windows sometimes. Other things that Advocate Park Ridge does is we have a lot of nursing resident committees. So we have a PICU nursing resident committee, as well as like a floor nursing resident committee, where we talk about communication between nurses and what we can do better to improve like patient outcomes, patient care between resident and nurses as well. So it's one big happy family. We don't really have a hierarchy between nurses and residents and attendings. It's all, we have an even playing field of bringing up concerns and bringing up ways that we can improve patient care across the board. So I think that's really important.
All right, thank you, Carissa. I think that's a nice transition into what will likely be our final question for the evening. And Katie, I'll direct that to you.
All right, sounds good. So Keshari Mikula was asking, what mental health resources does your program provide for residents? So we actually have a dedicated mental health department for our hospital staff, in particular residents and faculty actually, and that encompasses a psychiatrist plus a social worker as well. And many of our residents actually have seen our social worker, and actually they've provided group discussions as well about resident wellness and just things that the residents are going through in general. And it's just been so helpful, especially during those really difficult rotations, the ICU months in particular, just to have another person to bounce ideas and thoughts and worries off of. And I feel like it's really helped many of our residents just become more grounded and feel supported and confident in their abilities. So super grateful for that. And even there are a lot of our residents who have spouses who are residents too. Me in particular, my husband is an emergency med resident as well. And she even offers marriage counseling too. So helping wellness in all different forms. And it's free. It's so easy to sign up for. She actually gives her cell phone out, so you can really schedule at any point and even talk to her if you need to at any time of the day. So feel very lucky to have that service.
At Marshfield, we have a resident wellbeing committee so that we can consult them confidentially. So the resident can go to them directly, or we can make a referral to the committee if we're concerned that someone's performance perhaps may be impacted by fatigue or depression or anxiety or something, and we feel like they would benefit from speaking to someone very confidentially, not someone that evaluates them, not someone that's associated with the program at all. So it's really nice for the residents to have that confidential support, and then they can sort of help them get connected with the right resources that they need. And they have a lot of experience with residents, so they really understand what residents are going through and the unique challenges and stressors of residency, and so they can be really strong advocates for the resident. So it's been a really wonderful resource for me as a program director, as well as a great resource for our residents to know that they have that confidential link to someone who really understands what they're going through.
Just to add something else about the Midwest and our program, certainly, I think in my mind, having trained outside of the Midwest, and I did all my medical training in New York City, I tell you, when it comes to resident wellness, Midwest is best. So take it for.
I wore my Midwest is best shirt for tonight. See, Midwest is best.
I agree with Joanna. Midwest is best. I mean, I don't think there's another place where you can really quite have the work-life balance that we have, and the, just the feeling of the Midwest, the camaraderie, and, the residents are the voice behind everything we do. And I think that's probably the same at every program, that's on the call tonight. And so, it's just a really great place to train and to work.
Like, all the peds people are nice. Then you get peds people from Midwest, you got like double nice,
All right, thank you everyone for your participation tonight. Applicants, I hope you got a good sense of the feeling behind each program. We're about to return back to the main session, so thank you very much.